Just make sure he hasn't swallowed a crayon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome back to Talking and Chilling on the Grand Blue channel. I, of course, am tonight's fabulous host, the Grand Blue, the grandest of the blues, as you all very well know. And here with me is my cast of crazy crew members, as two of them have pirate get-ups in their avatars, which is just fabulous for me.
You are a pirate.
That was easy. And we have, of course, Yummy Owen.
Shemai everyone, let's get this fun and get this ball rolling.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to say it now before we continue. Spoiler alert, there will be a lot of spoilers in this video for some things that I have watched this weekend that I've been meaning to watch and meaning to talk about. And I'm going to go ahead and do a review while we have this channel, while we have this podcast. So I'm going to tell you now, there's going to be some spoilers. We also have... I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Well, I'm showing up in the thing as Chris, but channel name's Kravex. Hi, nerds. Yeah. You haven't died yet. Please don't die again. Recluse is on the internet.
No!
I unmuted him for a second.
Please ignore the screaming child in the background.
Yes, because he's been banned from having his cookies.
You see, Braxton right now.
Again!
Anywho, Braxton Gamer, everybody.
I can't even talk!
Yeah, see, Braxton Gamer.
Oh, two people. Damn!
You see, Braxton is playing a video game right now during the podcast, so every once in a while we're going to check in on him to see how he's doing.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Where the hell am I?
Okay, Braxton.
Jesus, no!
Okay, so I'm assuming he got sent back to the beginning of the level, which is hilarious. We're gonna check on Braxton every once in a while, maybe ask him his opinion on some stuff.
Watch that. You're just going.
I'm back.
Okay, so we have.
I'm getting pissed.
We have Braxton Gamer.
The village idiot.
No, that's not true.
We have Braxton Gamer. Braxton, introduce yourself to the fine people at home.
They already know who I am. I'm the guy with two controllers.
We'll do it again.
Do it again? What the hell?
It's intros. We've done this 1,000. We've done intros 1,000 times. Come on.
Oh yeah. Hi, I am Braxton Gamer, the channel for every dang gamer.
There we go.
And
we might have Retro joining us in who knows how long, but yeah, we're gonna have Retro coming in. He'll show up. We're gonna go ahead and start this off with. We're gonna go ahead and get out of the way so we entertain some gaming news. Braxton.
Yes.
What do you got?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of news to talk about today, but I did say some pretty good ones. So here's the first one. What was announced today or yesterday was the Sonic Mania. They did live stream the unboxing, of course they did. But here's the bad news. For people who pre-ordered on PC, the fancy schmancy computer, aka Steam, your game is delayed for another 2 weeks. While us PlayStation, Xbox, and even Switch owners are going to play it in 2 days. So, sorry PC people, but Sega said we need time to fix this. We don't want to say how broke the game. They probably learned from Security Mode from Nintendo from that. So, who knows? All I know is I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be amazing. Game of the year.
Certainly.
No, certainly it is. It's only $15.
It's not gonna be given.
Well, sure. This isn't really nothing
Yeah.
new, is it? When it comes to PC ports of games, like they usually do come later because X reason or whatever. As well as that, I feel like most of Sonic's target demographic are console players anyway. Like obviously, it sucks for all those ones who want to play on PC, but
True.
can't say it's something that you couldn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say one thing though.
I was gonna say this is not Batman all over again.
Oh, that's damn true. Because that game, PC people got screwed big time.
Is there any other gaming news before we get into some reviewing?
I got a few more left. One of them is that there is an update of a rumor what the next 5.0 update is going to be for beta players, and for people hoping you can change your ID name or hoping PS1 back compatibility, y'all got messed up because fortunately, all it's going to do is just Twitch. They're just upgrading from 720p to 1080p 60. That's all it freaking is, sadly. Which I hope it ain't true. I hope there's some more stuff in that, because if that's all it is, Sony gets the L. I'm sorry, they get L on this update. Because people have been asking for nameplate. People are asking, if someone messing around with the beach chair,
You already know my chair shit.
it's not like you're sitting on the beach chair.
I moved because I was sitting in an uncomfortable position.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, I don't like what Sony doing right now. They better have something good in there. So we've said PS1 compatibility or the ability to change our names. Look at it this way: Xbox you can change the name for over a couple of years ever since they started name changing, and hell, even the Switch, you could change your name. But why not PlayStation? That's my question to you, Sony. Why can we not simply just change our name? Why? Why can't we? Y'all know why we can't change our name on PS4?
Yeah, I don't really care. It's not really a big problem.
I think it's just because he has like one account that he wants to use, and it's called like X Boob Slapper X Pro Snipe.
What the hell?
No, I'm just saying, I don't know why so many people are complaining about this. I mean, so what? You can't change your name. Oh no, I don't really see a big problem here.
There are some people you know that don't like their name, they want to change it. But you can't do it on PS4.
Whoop de freaking do. Whoop de freaking do.
Xbox
You can't change
simply
your
just
name.
do
You know what? That before you pick the name.
Yeah,
Hey,
pretty
Don't
much.
get me wrong. Would I like to change my account name from the Shadow Amigos to the Grand Blue? Sure, but I don't care enough to like PlayStation better let me do it. No, because I chose the name and I'm stuck with it. I don't care. It's how accounts work. It's how most things work. It's how most accounts work. When you set them up, you are stuck with the name that you have picked. So you got to deal with it. You know what? I don't care if you decided to make your name Fart29.
Part 29.
Okay,
Oh.
you're stuck. You're stuck being Braxton Gamer if that's the dumb name you've. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm just saying, if you've chosen a dumb name, well, that's your fault for picking the dumb name. You should have thought of this before you did anything. You know, and don't get me wrong. There's a lot of dumb names. We've seen some dumb names while playing online. You know, some people have named themselves. You know, Donald Trump. I think one of them was the Czech Mix Brothers.
Hey, man.
Then there was there was someone who said that their name was the state of Mexico.
It's true.
And then there was oh man, I'm trying to think of something of the really really good ones. Oh, there was oh man, what was there have been some good ones in the past, and you just got to think to yourself, who picked that name? Oh, I know. And there was like Threesome 3. That's a name that's just hilarious in itself. You know, well, like sure, you can get a dumb name, but it doesn't really matter. You know, you're stuck with it. You pick the name. You have to deal with it. You know. You made the conscious decision to make your username for everyone on PlayStation to see. You chose it to be Batman's bitches. Like you chose that name. So you have to live with it. And no amount of complaining to PlayStation is gonna make them want to change it because they're just like, guys, we give you you should just be glad you have the option to pick a name that isn't like your real name.
But Grand, here's the missing point though. Some people don't like their names. They want to change it. They don't like it.
That's stupid. Yeah, I know, but you're not saying that's not a problem though.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a real problem. It's not a real problem.
Like how's it possible to do it on Xbox?
That doesn't make it a problem just because you do it on Braxton, listen here. I'm trying to explain
hinder your experience at all. You picked a name that you picked.
Nothing. It does nothing. It does not like my video game is not going to suddenly run better because my name is like Charles Nut Puncher. Like it's not gonna change anything. This isn't a real problem. Like if they're gonna complain about something real. You know, sure, this is a minor thing that maybe as like a commodity later we can tackle if we're feeling adventurous. But like, it's not something that PlayStation needs to put at the top of their list. You know, it's definitely not something that needs to be addressed by the fans. You know, no one needs to start a mob because they can't change their name from Dinkelheimer to John.
Oh, Schmidt.
Again, like the PlayStation could have been a jerk and make you like choose a real name. You know?
No, they give you options.
You know, someone
you can either have this. You got
no. I mean, like the fact that we're able to the fact that you're able to put like a fake ID instead of your real name, that alone is a commodity that some websites don't even give you. You know, some websites do require you to have like a real name for your online ID. You know, which some people are very uncomfortable with because they don't want their real name. They don't want their real information getting out there. But any other gaming news before we get into the reviews?
Yeah, I actually found out. You know, King of Fighters, right?
Yeah,
I've heard of the game. Yes,
they're actually making an anime series.
all right.
I just seen you like something like that on Facebook just a second ago. I'm like, why am I seeing this trash tier My Shiranui?
But there's no information when it's actually going to be released for the States or Europe yet, but it's out in Japan, so I thought I'd let you guys know about that. So I know certain people who like that fighting franchise.
I believe he will be very excited.
Yeah, it's like the Blaze Blue anime that came out like a couple of years back.
I need to watch that.
It's an alright anime. It's alright. It's alright.
So, anything else before we continue?
I can't think of anything.
The only thing I'll say. Oh, I hear echo.
Yeah, because it's in your end.
Hey, on my end.
On my end,
I heard the echo.
I don't hear
But
it.
that was my end. There was echoing on the mic, guys.
I echo from Google.
Whatever. Whatever.
Who
Doesn't
Who
matter.
cares?
Anyways, one last thing is that Nintendo's getting sued. For this
What did they do this time? For the Switch?
And know what it's for?
It was because some company ever had like similar sort of like concept with like little things you slide inside for a controller for a tablet.
It's all because
something.
of, I'll show the picture. I'll turn on my camera. Because of.
People cover your eyes. You don't want to see his.
Because of the Pogs?
Yep.
That's stupid. Is it Atari suing them?
No, it's not
Apple.
Atari. It's some weird company called WikiPad or whatever his name is.
Okay, see, then no, you can't sue them. The Pogs have existed.
They're a very, very small company. No, I saw one video one time that it looks like dog shit.
Remember in the thing that you showed, or everyone's like showing how the thing was supposed to be apparently similar to Joy-Cons, and I'm like, look, it's too similar. And I'm like, you literally have the Xbox face buttons, but you just reverse the colors.
Yep. It's
And you're complaining about the Joy-Cons looking similar to what you have, whereas you just have Joy-Cons of Xbox face buttons. Just saying.
Yep. And they mix match the colors, try to make it look like it's different.
Yeah, like A was red, B was green.
Pretty much they swap button colors from A.
That's all they did with the face buttons.
A to red.
I think they were actually the exact same buttons as well. Like it did say A, B, X, Y. It was actually quite amusing looking at it.
Yeah. But I'm going to say this now while we're live. I might go spoil it. I'll be doing an unboxing this Tuesday. What is it? You gotta find out.
Sonic on Age.
Strap-on collection.
A strap-on collection? No, hell no. Screw Tree Fighter.
Yeah, because you're gonna be unboxing the Sonic Mania collection. I know you are.
Oh, you just have to spoil it.
I'm just psychic.
Well, that and your predictable.
Y'all heard it here. I'm going to unbox Sonic Mania on Tuesday.
Remember to leave your dislikes.
Besides, I'll be playing it that day as well.
But I'm getting collectors.
Yeah, I'll be playing after midnight exactly.
But I'll be getting collectors.
Yeah, but I'll be
Doesn't
playing,
matter.
I'll be playing at midnight.
But I'll be
And
getting
I'll
collectors.
14 because nothing else matters. So there, ha.
Yeah, it does. Sonic Force is coming out literally a few months after this game literally comes out a few days.
I'm not a big Sonic fan.
I am. I'm not a big fan if I used to be, but I still like Sonic. More like, of course, classic. But that's it.
Now, I ask the question, are we good with entertainment, with the gaming news?
Yes,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, we are good. We are good.
In that case, I will now commence the moving to my, and I can't stress this enough. If you don't like this video because of this, I am warning you for another time. Spoiler alert. There are spoilers in this video.
Woo.
Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about DuckTales.
Yay.
Woohoo! Today was the premiere of the first episode of the new TV reboot series of DuckTales. And first 6 impressions of the show, before I get into the review, is it is very well made. It is very well done. And it has more of a plot than the original, which I do like that bit of an upgrade. That is it's a nice touch. There's definitely a defined plot in this series than in the other one. The first episode is, of course, titled Woohoo. It is, I can't make that up. It is actually titled Woohoo. It is actually on right now if you want to go watch it yourself. Right now, Disney XD is doing a 24-hour premiere of the episode where they're just playing it on loop. It is an amazing episode. It is an amazing episode. It's about an hour long. It is only the first episode, and we won't get more episodes until September. But this is a nice, 1 hour special to let you know, okay, guys, this is what we're doing with it. This is what we're doing with the show. I hope you like it. And they did not disappoint. They did not disappoint with this show. So the show opens up with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, who, by the way, I'm slowly starting to differentiate of who is who, thanks to the show, because they actually did do a good job of, creating different personalities for these characters. So Louie and Huey are like trying to get Donald to go to his new job interview because Donald, and like he's wearing a suit and like, and by the way, Donald Duck, whenever Donald Duck is on screen, it is a treat. Donald Duck is on screen, because whenever Donald is on screen, it like the scenes with just Donald in it act like a Donald Duck cartoon, which I think is a nice break from the DuckTales story. You just take a minute and you just like have Donald acting like Donald Duck. Like there's literally the first scene is like he's getting like they're getting his clothes together and like they're messing with his sailor suit and like it smacks him in the face as he's trying to get dressed. It's just like there's a bunch of little jokes when it comes to Donald Duck and whenever he's on camera. It's great. It's great. So like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are trying to like jumpstart his boat. That's also a house because they want to go adventuring. But like Donald, catches them and he tries to get a babysitter, and apparently someone gave like they set it up perfectly so that the babysitter had the wrong address, so they were going to be left alone in the house, And in this series, Donald Duck is very protective of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. He's very protective of them. Just by being on his house, they have to wear like life preservers, which I thought was pretty funny. And like, they're too big for their bodies, so they're like their faces are all scrunched up. So like he can't get a babysitter, so he just he thinks to himself, well, there's only one person who can help, and that's Scrooge McDuck. So unlike the original series where Donald is just dropping off the kids, there's a legit reason for the kids to be there. So he drops off the kids, and as soon as like we mentioned Scrooge McDuck, we cut to him in the office, and I love this and there's a hilarious joke where Scrooge is just in a boring office, and then his business associates are vultures. Like his board members, he has 3 board members, and they're vultures. They are money vultures. It's actually kind of funny. Scrooge is completely bored with the whole business thing, even though it is confirmed he's the richest duck in the world. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie, until now, have never known about Scrooge. Like they did not know that they were related. Like entirely. Like no idea. Because apparently in this timeline, in the reboot timeline, for some reason, Donald Duck does not like Scrooge. There something happened in the past when Scrooge and Donald were adventuring together, and Donald Duck does not like Scrooge for some reason. They're not really big friends of each other. Something happened. We have no idea what, but they definitely hint that something crazy happened in the past when they were doing their adventures. Um, don't know what. But yeah, no. So like Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then we meet. The we are introduced to the characters one by one. Launchpad does like at first is only the limo driver. For Scrooge. And of course he's terrible at driving anything. Into tables and coffee houses as he's driving. It's just great. But and so when the kids get to the thing, and we are introduced to Mrs. Beakley, who is very serious. Mrs. Beakley is a very serious character, and they wanted in an interview during the Disney Expo. It was stated that Mrs. Beakley is a very serious character. She shows up, she doesn't make any jokes. She doesn't do jokes. She is there to get things done. And nothing will get in her way, but she will get the job done when she shows up. And her granddaughter, Webby, is just, people. If you remember the original DuckTales, then you will find Webby to be a breath of fresh air. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. She is hilarious. I love this character. She is crazy. She's insane. But it turns out Mrs. Beakley is also very protective. Like, Webby is trained to handle any kind of situation, but she is locked in her room. Like, she is trained to handle anything, but she doesn't need to do anything as long as she's, in Scrooge McDuck's mansion where she's allowed to live. Has never been out of the house. As far as I know, she has never eaten a hamburger, which is pretty funny. Like, there's literally a scene where it's just like, I want to get a cheeseburger. I'm going to break out of here one day, and I'm going to go get me a cheeseburger. and then and then Huey's just like, we can just bring you a cheeseburger. And then she's just like, we really are best friends.
That was literally me when my parents were like away on holiday, and I'm like, I want a pizza. I will steal a fucking car, drive into the town, and get a pizza.
That's just hilarious. Like, I love that. I love Webby in this series. I'm going to love her. She is insane. And apparently, like, her thing is like she has done research on the entire Scrooge McDuck family. So like she knows like how everyone is connected family-wise. Which is gonna play a big part later. Apparently, there's a lot of family in this show. There's a lot. This big message is family. But like and Scrooge is kind of reluctant because like Scrooge has made it his mission kind of to stay away from people. He's very oblivious to people that he doesn't directly have to deal with. But like the kids insult him, so he like starts thinking to himself, what do you mean I used to be a big thing? So he's gonna do something crazy and go discover the city of Atlantis. And he's so oblivious to people that and I love this moment. It was hilarious in the show. There's a joke where Scrooge is like listing off things that he's gonna need in order to pull off the city of Atlantis thing. And he's like, well, I'm gonna need 4 scuba tanks. a submarine, a plane, a pilot, and then as soon as he said pilot, Launchpad pokes his head into the room and goes, "I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot." Like every time Scrooge mentions that he needs a pilot, he just pops his head in and just goes, I'm a pilot." Scrooge is of course oblivious to this. And it's adorable. It's like a small child coming into the room and going, I can do that. Can I help, Daddy? I can help. It's great because it's just hilarious. It's a hilarious little joke. And later it's just like Scrooge is like, since when is Launchpad a pilot? Even though through the entire episode he's been mentioning that he flies. He's a terrible pilot, but still. But like, yeah, no, so and then Webby takes Huey, Dewey, and Louie to what she thinks is like Scrooge's trophy room, where it kind of shows off some of the grand adventures that Scrooge McDuck has had. There's like a treasure chest with a ghost pirate in it that comes out, because there's a moment where Huey, Dewey, and Louie find a painting with like a pirate fighting Scrooge, and then they see Donald swinging from the freaking rafters, and they just think, "Oh, this is all fake. All of it. It's fake." Because Donald Duck is doing something cool. They're just thinking, is it Donald doing something badass? No, this is all fake. All of it. All of it is fake. And they're just like, it's hilarious. They're acting like internet trolls, and they're just like, no, it's fake. It's totally fake. It's not real. Nope, Photoshop. Photoshopped all of this. 3D printer. It's like all of this is just a bunch of movie props and crap. It's great. You know, until they release the Ghost Pirate, and then it's the weirdest thing. I don't know if this is from the comic books or whatever, but there's a headless horse that they summoned. And they summoned, and like, you know, and then Scrooge comes in, saves the day, and is awesome. You know, he's like a badass and beats the ghost, you know, by outsmarting him. You know, which I thought it was a pretty creative way of outsmarting. So there's a Scrooge McDuck statue, and Scrooge asks, "What is it gonna take for you to get out of my hair?" And he goes, "The head of Scrooge McDuck." And then Scrooge just goes, "Will a hat do?" Then he throws his hat at him, and it goes through him, and then he just like does some badass skills, and then he hands him the severed head of a statue of Scrooge. And then he goes, "There you go, the head of Scrooge McDuck." And then the ghost just exclaims, "I should have been more specific!" And then dies. The severed head, and then the statue head goes on top of the headless horse, and like he does it in Morse code. "Oh my god, thank goodness I have a head now. I'm not a freak," and then just goes away. Like, all right, cool. And then it turned out like this whole time there was an ancient gong that they're hitting, that if they hit it 3 times it'll summon a great power, you know. So they hit it 3 times by accident, you know, like, and then the gold hunting dragon shows up. And they're just like, "Oh, whatever, it's just a dragon. That's kind of awesome." Yeah, but it's the gold hunting dragon, and that's not the best thing when you're Scrooge McDuck. So, like, then for like the next 10 to 15 minutes, it's Scrooge he's riding the dragon as it tries to get to his money bin. And then like they're just like, man, we need to chase after them. If only we knew a pilot. And then Launchpad sticks his head in again. I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot. I can do it. You know, they go on an epic adventure and they stop the dragon and turn him back to stone. And then Scrooge is like, well, you know what? You lot are quite the adventurers. I think it's time. You lot are good at getting into trouble. Maybe somebody needs to teach you how to get in trouble the right way. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow. How long has it been since Doctor Who has said those words? Like, that was a nice Doctor Who moment. 4 companions. It's just nice. And then every once in a while throughout the episode, you know, the first part of the episode, we're cutting to Donald at his job interview, and it's just playing like a Donald Duck cartoon. You know, he's at the interview and he sees that one woman has like staples in her resume. So Donald tries to staples his papers, but like the staples don't come out no matter what he does. So he freaks out and then he ends up stapling himself to the wall. And it turns out that the interview was to work at the company belonging to our favorite second Scottish man, Glumgold. Which was a nice introduction to him because he has like an employee introduction video where he's just like, the true favorite Scottish rich duck, Glumgold. He hates Scrooge so much. And I love the new design of Glumgold. I love his new design. And they've really made it like it just who's more Scottish. They've made it a war of who's richer and who's more Scottish. Which is kind of funny.
Could have been worse.
It could like I think it's funny because there's literally a moment where he's like, I'm more Scottish than him. I wear a kilt. A kilt. He just exclaims it. Like it's just some great feat that he's wearing a kilt. It's like it's funny. And like so Donald Duck gets hired. And I don't think Glumgold, and like it turns out that Glumgold then turns Donald Duck into a hostage, but I don't think he originally knows that they're related. He just hires Donald because he needs a sailor. Because of course Glumgold wants to get the Jewel of Atlantis. So now it's a race to go get the Jewel of Atlantis. Neither aware that the other one is after anything related to the other one. And Glumgold's henchmen have hilarious names. One of them was named Birch Stabberson. Birch Stabberson. And her specialty was swords. Like, that is the best name for your resume. Birch Stabberson. That was her name. And which was just, that made me laugh. That was a moment that just, like, it made me chuckle. It was like, she's never going to show up again. She is never coming back. But you gave her a good name. Made me legitimately laugh at this character that I'm never going to see again. But like, okay, so, and then trying to impress Scrooge because Dewey's the blue one. Dewey is blue, and he's like, his character trait is like real adventurous. He wants to be on an epic adventure, you know? So he wants to impress Scrooge. And it turns out that Scrooge has not learned their names. He has not learned their names at all.
To be fair, I never knew names of them at all. I just remember the three names. And I don't remember which one was which because before they all had the exact same design. The only difference was their color for the most part.
Right. Now that they're different, it's just now it's funny.
They're a lot more
now,
defined as characters, like all the three of them.
Right. So like not knowing their name is actually kind of funny.
But who's the
No.
one? It is.
He has no idea what their names are. He has not taken the point is he's not taking the time to learn them. He's just bunched them up together. And this comes up later because Louis is mad about that because every time he the whole episode he's addressing him as Scrooge, hoping that when he talks back to him he'll address him by his name, but he keeps going Sonny Boy or Jimmy Boy, just Sonny Jim. Get doing there, Sonny Jim. And then he Louis just takes a minute and just starts yelling at Scrooge. It's you've bunched me and my brothers together. And it's no, I have not. What's my name? And then Scrooge takes a minute and goes, and I thought this was hilarious. He looked at him and went, Bluey? Just a small part of me was just you really wanted to say the blue one, didn't you? The blue one. You're the one that wears the blue shirt. Bluey? That's great. So it turns out that Atlantis during this whole time is upside down, underwater, and and you know how every time Atlantis shows up in a story, they have to come up with a reason that it sunk. And I really like this one. So the reason the Atlantis sunk in DuckTales is because the people who made Atlantis were so eager to make a forbidden treasure trove of Death Trap that no one thought to make support beams. So it sunk when they finished it. And throughout this whole time, Louis is just going head first into all of this. And most of the death traps are on the ceiling because it's upside down. But some of them are still getting activated. And through all of this, Donald Duck is saving Louis. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, from behind the scenes while he's part of Glumgold's team. Because Glumgold has decided, and I kid you not, they said these words. Glumgold actually was going to murder Scrooge and the nephews. Ready to kill them. He was just ready to do it.
For those were the words, I'm surprised because everything's all sensitive today and doesn't want to use words like on kids shows.
Yeah, because Donald they're watching a surveillance video because apparently Huey, Dewey, and Louie had to go to the bathroom, and there's not a bathroom on the submarine, so they snuck onto Glumgold's ship because he had a freighter boat. They didn't know it was Glumgold's, so the surveillance video is showing them, and Huey takes a moment to go back to the bathroom to wash his hands. He wanted to make sure he washed his hands. Which is it's more character development without words. Huey is lame. By the book Adventure Junior Cub Scout character. Dewey is the adventurer, and then Louie is apparently the evil one. As said in the show, he's the evil triplet. But really, he's greedy. He wants to make money as easy as possible. as quick and as effortless as he can. He wants to make money. But like, so Donald Duck is like, he sees the surveillance videos because they've been lying to him because he's super protective of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So he finds out that Scrooge is taking them on an epic adventure to the city of Atlantis. And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to kill them." And then Glumgold hears this and he's like, "That's a great idea, Donald." Like, it's like, "That's a great idea, Duck. Once we'll follow Scrooge and his ragtag team of children, and then we'll steal the gem from them and then kill them." And like, for a minute there, I was just thinking to myself, wow, this guy is a step up from the old Glumgold. This dude is ready to murder people. And he tries. He actually does try. He actually does try to murder people. But like, so he takes one gem from the city of Atlantis thinking it's the gem, but it turns out that Atlantis is upside down. So what he thought was the gem was like a lamp or something. Like, it was just a gem used to light up the room.
It was essentially just a light bulb.
It was just essentially like at first I was thinking to myself, wow, that means that Glumgold took a light bulb. He took a light bulb that looked like a ruby.
I go, what a gem.
Thinking it was the gem of Atlantis. And so they get the real gem of Atlantis, and Glumgold after using Donald Duck as a hostage situation, and I'm not kidding you there, then tries to murder Scrooge, the nephews, Donald Duck, and his henchmen by blowing up Atlantis.
Because that's what you do.
With torpedoes that he just had on hand.
You know, just for lol.
Like, no one this entire time questioned the fact that his submarine had torpedoes. And then the henchmen are just like, "Can we bum a ride off of you guys? Like, we know that we just threatened to kill you. Can we hitch a ride?"
Like, we agree, he's a bit of a dick.
Oh, no, we agree on that, but it's hilarious. So, like, okay, so we get back to Duckburg as they're getting back to, we come back to Duckburg. They've gotten the gem of Atlantis. Scrooge got it. And Glumgold is in the middle of an interview, and they're just like, "So, this is amazing. You are now the richest duck in Duckburg. What do you have to say?" He's like, "Well, I'm just so glad that I got..." And right as he's about to say the gem of Atlantis, Scrooge McDuck plows in on a crane and says it, cuts him off and says it himself. It's like, "Well, I'm glad that I stole the stone of Atlantis. Thunder stolen." And then Scrooge is like, "This gem is a new clean power source that can power all of Duckburg, courtesy of Scrooge Water and Power." And then they're just like, well, what about fakers like Glumgold? And then Scrooge is like, the gem that he took is probably cursed. And it was cursed because a kraken just like kidnaps Glumgold. As Glumgold is yelling as loud as he can, "No, it's not cursed. I will be the rich." And then kraken kidnaps him. It's like in mid-sentence.
Say yoink.
Mid-sentence kidnaps him. But yeah, there's like, like, that's hilarious. That's like the turn of events in that one moment. And then Donald Duck is just like there is still some animosity between Scrooge and Donald But he's just like, well, if the kids are going to get in trouble, maybe you can teach them how to get out of it. Since that's kind of what Scrooge does. Plus, Donald realizes how important Scrooge is to the kids. And then as soon as he's going about, yeah, maybe you guys can visit him on holidays. Every other weekend, mainly holidays, maybe like long weekends. Just like he's like spacing out more time that he doesn't have to deal with Scrooge. And then his houseboat in the background catches on fire. Because it turns out that Huey left the engine on that he hotwired earlier. So it caught on fire. And then Scrooge is like, I have a few thousand spare bedrooms you can use. So, there was a nice family moment, and it was a really good thing. And, and it was just really, really well made. The animation was amazing. The story had enough character development to keep invested. It had a plot, and there's a plot that's gonna show up more. Because it turns out that Huey, Dewey, and Louie have a mother that we are going to learn about. This is the big spoiler, is that at the end of the thing, the big picture that's kind of ripped up, it's got like a little corner of it ripped down where it has Donald and Scrooge fighting ghost pirates, and Huey pulls back the corner, and it turns out that his mom, their mom, was an adventurer with Donald and Scrooge.
I will laugh at Daisy Duck. I will laugh.
It is not Daisy Duck. It is not. It is not Daisy. Donald is definitely the uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Scrooge is Donald's uncle. And Scrooge is the great uncle of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. But apparently, Donald's sister was a great adventurer too. And this is huge because we've known nothing about the mother of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. These kids have been dropped off so many times, we assumed that their mother didn't even exist. But it turns out not only does she exist, she was amazing, and we are going to learn more about her as the story goes on. So there's going to be a subplot throughout the series about Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and I'm assuming Webby too, considering that she knows about the Scrooge McDuck family, of just Huey, Dewey, and Louie just trying to discover what happened to their mom. Somehow the people at Disney wrote back in random death. Huey, Dewey, and Louie's mom became one of the many mothers that Disney just forgot to write in. Jasmine's mom.
I know. I feel like Disney are getting a bit better recent years when it comes to moms. At least they state that they existed at one point.
They indeed existed. We state that they exist. We don't know why they're gone now.
Lilo and Stitch explained the lack of mother. Died in a car crash.
Did they?
Yeah. It's actually one of the most saddest Disney movies when you read into it. Their parents died in a car crash when it was stormy, and you find out that Lilo goes every Tuesday or whatever to feed a fish she calls Pudge, because she thinks he controls the weather. She is making food offerings to what she believes is a god that caused her parents' death. Just saying.
But okay. I didn't. Okay. All right. See, I thought their parents were just in the void of parents that don't exist anymore.
No, she explains it when Stitch
Um,
finds the photo.
Well, you know what? Lilo and Stitch, that's why they're a masterpiece.
Lilo and Stitch is like my favorite Disney movie.
Lilo and Stitch is a masterpiece from the movies to the TV show. Just a simple masterpiece.
How about the spin-off version of Lilo and Stitch, the animated series? I knew you were going to say that.
We do not talk about that.
We don't bring it up. We don't. If it doesn't, don't bring it up unless it directly involves Lilo.
Like, look, the only thing we need to think about is the movie and Hawaiian roller coaster ride. Okay, that's all we need.
Yeah. The only thing we need are cousins and Lilo, and we got a good setup. Just one of those two things, and we got a pretty good setup. And it has to make sense. No. Oh, and Jumba and Pleakley, the cross-dressing alien.
You need Bleakley.
You need Pleakley.
I just remember
is an
seeing the movie, and like every single in the cinema, and every single time he was on screen, I just couldn't help but laugh.
Well, yeah,
Look, it's a mosquito. It's a dangerous species. It's making home upon me, and there's another one. There's another one.
Pleakley is just like, no, I can watch Lilo and try on your clothes when you're not looking. I mean, what? I don't do that.
That's basically the alien version of Braxton.
The one part where Jump is like trying to kill Stitch, and it just opens. It's just like, quickly, we can use the back door. Opens the back door. Bleakley's just like, you're alive.
I just love Pleakley so much. For various reasons. Pleakley is just like a hilarious voice, a hilarious character design, and just the fact that like he's completely accepted Aunt Pleakley as just like a total thing. Like I was waiting for like the episode called Fibber, where they introduce the lie detector experiment, and his parents show up because they think that he's getting married to Lilo's sister.
Yeah.
Like I was just waiting for a moment. We're just like, I mean, you do enjoy. I mean, you are attracted to her, right? Totally, Mom. It's like, where's women? Just like that whole episode was just like if you were an adult now watching that, like if you sit down and watch that episode, you're just waiting for the moment where Pleakley comes out of the closet. That's what you're waiting for the whole episode. But there was two other things that I watched. The DuckTales series was amazing. I cannot stress it enough. I can't wait for September to get some more on. This is gonna be a great show. High hopes. And I'm going to mention this too. There was an interview in the Disney Expo and they said, if there's a character in the DuckTales universe that you are a fan of, he or she will most likely make some appearance in an episode. They will definitely be coming back some way or shape or form. Professor Ludwig?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy duck professor. He's going to be in the series. He's going to be in an episode. He will be in an episode of DuckTales. Which I can't wait for that one. I cannot wait for that episode. Because I love that guy. But yeah, no, they said if there's any DuckTales character that you guys love, eventually he's gonna show up, And a small part of me is just waiting for the El Capitan episode. El Capitan wants a gold. I'm waiting for him to show up as like some kind of homeless man looking for Scrooge McDuck's gold. We're definitely gonna get the Beagle Boys. The Beagle Boys are definitely showing up. Mama Beagle is showing up soon. Um, um, uh, Duck, the Iron Man robot duck guy, is gonna be coming soon. The inventor chicken coming soon. They're just like doing a bunch of announcements. Just like if there's a character, he's gonna show up. So guys, and they even took some of the old episodes and have decided to like reanimate them with the new animation and characters. They're going to redo some of the older episodes that really don't have a plot, but are just fun episodes that they liked. So who knows what that'll mean. And of course, at the Disney Expo, there was someone who asked the question that everyone wanted to be asked. Someone at the Disney Expo asked the people who are making the DuckTales show, will there ever be a moment where Darkwing Duck will show up? And or like, well, the Disney afternoon, since DuckTales does good, are you guys gonna bring back some of the other Disney afternoon things? And they said, we loved the Disney afternoon, we loved it, like that's our favorite thing. So there's a possibility that maybe some of the other shows might make revamps,
like the Goof Troop.
Not the Goof Troop, but I think Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
That was brought up, which I mean, it's been a while since those two have been anywhere.
Only in Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, like really, like that's about it.
It has been Kingdom Hearts games, isn't it? I haven't heard anything else from them.
Yeah, like it's like unless you knew them, you don't know that they exist.
Or the or the toddlers versions of Disney shows as well. So
there of course was also talk about Tailspin came up in the interview, but then someone asked about Darkwing Duck, and instead of actually saying yes or no, the person that they asked was like the head of the creation team. He responded the best way possible. He responded with, "Oh, you mean the terror that flaps in the night, the burrito that spills over upon crime." That's the messy burrito that's not put together well and spills over onto the plate of crime. That's Darkwing Duck. I'm going to predict it now. Some kind of season finale or something. There's going to be a crossover with Darkwing Duck. I'm picturing the Beagle Boys are going to try and break in to the Duck Vault, and Darkwing Duck is going to be on the case. Because I don't think that Launchpad and Darkwing Duck have even crossed paths in this timeline yet. So it's possible that maybe we might create the timeline with DuckTales. One of Disney's big things is connected universes. Maybe we can get some Darkwing Duck started with just a crossover to see how it does. The other two things that I watched were Smurfs: The Lost Village, and this movie is pretty cut and dry. It's the Smurfs. The female Smurfs were. I wish there was more time devoted to them. I want to know more about them. I definitely want a TV series or something to come from this. I want more in-depth details about these female Smurfs from the Lost Village. I do have one problem with the movie, and it's a thing that bothered me throughout the whole movie. And that was Gargamel. I did his voice. I just couldn't get behind it. You know, like say what you will about the Neil Patrick Harris Smurf live actions. That was a good Gargamel. They had a good Gargamel. He looked like him. He sounded like Gargamel. You know, Smiths down packed. The voice actor that they chose for Gargamel is he's a great actor. He's an amazing actor, but he didn't really get into it. Like he just did his voice. Like he didn't like try and like do a Gargamel voice, which kind of threw me off a little bit. Not hearing like a Gargamel voice coming out of Gargamel, just a little bit, threw me off a little bit. It kind of took me out of the movie every once in a while whenever I would hear him. All in all, not a bad movie. Not a bad movie at all. I mean, it played like a Smurf episode. Like
Could
an
be
episode.
worse. I was gonna say it could be worse. You've been watching the Emoji Movie.
Oh my god. Don't. But yeah, no, the Smurfs in the Lost Village was okay. It was a decent movie. I wish there was some more time that we could have gotten with some Smurfs. There's mainly only 4 Smurfs. There's with Smurfette, Brainy, Hefty, and Clumsy. Clumsy was like amazing in this movie. I loved his voice actor. His voice actor was amazing. I can't remember his name, but he's done some work in Disney. He voices my favorite character, Wander from Wander Over Yonder, the Disney show. I love love the show, and I love his voice in it. But yeah, no, it was a good movie. It was decent. It played like an episode of the Smurfs, and I wouldn't be opposed to like a TV show. I would not be opposed to it, you know, because I kind of want to know more about the Smurfettes, the female Smurfs. And like the whole thing, like Smurfette is trying to like find out who she is, and I'm just thinking to myself, wow, you're gonna go there? Like Smurfs have their own traits, you know, and like Smurfette doesn't know what her trait is, and like through that whole bit, I'm just thinking to myself, your trait is that you're a girl. That's your thing. Hefty, you're girl. That's your thing. You're girl. There was one joke that they made about like the different personality traits of the Smurfs that I liked. They were just like, they were doing the usual introduction. They're like, then there's all kinds of Smurfs in the Smurfs village. There's Brainy Smurf. There's Hefty Smurf. Grouchy Smurf. Farmer Smurf. There's even Table-Eating Smurf. We don't know about that guy. Like, there's literally just a Smurf whose job is to try and eat this table. He's just eating a table. There's no sense in any of it. And it makes no sense, and it's so stupid. I couldn't help but laugh at that for a minute.
Could be worse. They could add a Smurf called Gimp Smurf.
I know, but like, the thing that I thought was so funny about Table-Eating Smurf was like, out of 100, there's 99 of them. Like, eventually they had to run out of character traits. And they just ended up with table eating.
Could be worse. They could Gun Braxton Smurf.
I said table eating Smurf.
Yeah, Braxton's 100 times worse.
And like it turns out that Farmer Smurf was voiced by Jeff Dunham. Like, what is with this? What is with these movies and like getting famous people to voice the Smurfs and then not doing anything with them? Like, what's even the point of getting Jeff Dunham to voice Farmer Smurf if you're not going to use Farmer Smurf?
Maybe he did a few lines because maybe he's on tour, maybe.
Maybe, but like he had one line, and he did it in the the Bubba J voice, which was a funny voice, you know. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is Jeff Dunham in this movie if you're not going to use him? Use him, use him somehow. I mean, it'd be hilarious if there was a dead terrorist Smurf. That would be hilarious. But like, yeah, no, like even in the Neil Patrick Harris, you know, movie, they had like Pee Wee Herman voice one of the Smurfs. Jeff Foxworthy voiced a Smurf. You know, like they had a bunch of famous people voicing Smurfs, but they never used the Smurfs. Like they showed up for a line or a noise, and then they're gone. I just like I hate the waste of a waste of an actor that could have made the movie funnier. It was a waste of a Jeff Dunham. Wasted your Jeff Dunham. The second movie that I watched was Underpants.
Really?
It's not based on like a kid's book.
It
Yes.
is based off of a kid's book. And I'm not gonna lie, I really, really liked it.
Do I need to?
Prayer.
I was gonna say, do you want me to check your temperature there, Gran?
No. I really liked it because, like, okay, so like as a kid, I was like, my mom is a teacher, so she didn't really like the Captain Underpants books. I still read one of them. But like, still read them.
Really?
even though-
Because the reason why I even know about it is because I remember I had to read it in school.
Yeah, no, my mother hated Captain Underpants. She hated it. She hates Captain Underpants. Well, I mean, it makes sense. She's a teacher. In the book, but like, you know, but you know, I liked it. I liked it. There were like, it had some moments that were stupid. I won't deny it. The trailers really did give away most of the funny moments. But there was a moment where like it was sock puppets during a nightmare sequence, you know. It was just like it was completely random and unnecessary, but like it was funny for like a minute. Because like he's trying to explain the terrible thing that's going to happen if they get separated into different classes, and then just like his fantasy nightmare has just turned into the most ridiculous thing ever, and I just love how it spiraled. you know, and they have like the flip book action sequence like they have in the book because like, and apparently they didn't get a lot of funding. The Captain Underpants movie, they did not get a lot of funding. But like they like made bank back for not having a lot of funding. They did a very good job. The animation was clean and very well made. And then there's a joke that's running. There's a running joke in the movie, which I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen a movie do running jokes anymore that work. This one worked because so they called the assistant of the secretary of the principal so that they could like get their stuff back. And like they say, "You've won a radio contest. Just hold as we transfer you." And then they're just playing a hold music. And this goes throughout the entire movie. The end credit scene where they just take a minute and they just go, "Oh my God, she's still on hold." And they break the fourth wall and she's like, "Oh my goodness, she's been doing that through the whole movie. That's just impressive." Wow. And then just like, "Okay, we are now ready to transfer you." And then she drops the phone. Accidentally hangs up. And then she gets so mad that her glasses break. And like it turns into a new comic book. The woman who was left on hold. Like it's stupid, but like that was a funny joke. That was funny. And do not get me wrong, there is a ton of childish humor in this movie. There is, I'm not kidding you, the world was saved by Uranus. So there's a flashback of how they met, in how the two main characters, one of them played by Kevin Hart, met in kindergarten, and one of them was when the teacher, which, by the way, what teacher tries to teach the planets in kindergarten? It's number one. But like they're trying to teach them in kindergarten, and they come up with, and then of course she mentions Uranus, and they're laughing about it because it's Uranus. How do you not laugh at Uranus?
I can.
It's stupid, but it's funny. It's extremely stupid.
I'm offended. My butt is perfectly fine, okay?
Just saying they bonded over Uranus. That's how they became friends. But yeah, no, and then the villain has got to be like he's stupid. It is a stupid villain, but it is a pretty good one. So the kids try and discover his weakness. So his weakness is that he doesn't want people knowing what the P stands in Professor P. And they find out through his record that they get from Captain Underpants, who's posing as the principal because they don't want to turn him back into the principal because they've hypnotized him. And but so it turns out that the P stands for Poopy Pants. So they write a comic book about Captain Underpants versus Poopy Pants. And then he reads the comic book, and he's an actual villain. Like, he wants to destroy all laughter. Like, that's his plan, because people laughed at him, at his name, even though it's an authentic name where there's emphasis on the poop. That's a line in there. Emphasis on the poop. In Poopy Pants. But so he wants to destroy laughter, and they're reading the comic book. He's reading the comic book, and he's just like, and it turns out that they indirectly gave him the answer to destroy all laughter through the comic book. So the comic book kind of self-narrates the rest of the movie. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So he goes full supervillain. And throughout this whole movie, Captain Underpants is just a fat guy who's been hypnotized to think that he's a superhero. And, so he tries to stop the giant toilet robot. That's a sentence that I said. Okay. And then our two main characters try and stop Professor Poopy Pants by distracting him and making him laugh because, and like making him see the error of his ways because they can't actually beat him up. So there's just like, what is so funny about Professor Poopy Pants? And so they're just like, no, your name is the most amazing thing ever. We wish that we had names like that. Yeah. Oh man, I wish that my name was like Harold Finger and Pooger. So they're just like coming up with dumb kid names, just mixing up stupid things. His full name, and this made me laugh because of how stupid it was. His full name is Professor P.P. Diarrhea Poopy Pants Esquire. See? It gets a snicker. It just gets a smallest snicker. It's like P.P. Diarrhea Poopy Pants Esquire.
I didn't laugh.
That's because you hate
It
fun.
is.
I do not. I do not hate fun.
You're the grumpy old man in the call.
I am not grumpy.
But you're old. Yeah.
It's potty humor, and like
Yeah,
it is the lowest form of comedy. And like, there's a moment where like they're siphoning the funny out of these two main characters, and they're just like, "No, we need to laugh at something, or we're never going to laugh at anything ever again." And they're just like, "Well, what did we used to find funny before this thing happened to us?" And by the way, this is their brains talking to each other because they're such good friends that they can psychically talk to each other, which is kind of, it makes sense. It's just, I don't know. We mainly laughed at potty humor. It's like, oh my goodness, potty humor? That is like the lowest form of comedy. As their I laugh obligata trademark is shrinking. And then Professor Poopy Pants mentions Uranus, and then they start laughing again because it's Uranus. Because he said that he was going to try and conquer Uranus. Professor Poopy Pants was going to conquer Uranus with a giant toilet. See, that's funny.
yes, that sounds funny.
So, see, it's stupid, but it's funny. But yeah, no, that's his evil plan. It's a great evil plan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
But yeah, no, and then it turns out, and like defeating this villain drags on for a while because like first they defeat the robot, and then his growing shrink ray, which he almost got a Nobel Peace Prize for, but they laughed at his name because it was so stupid. Then he gets like super big, and then Captain Underpants, after getting his superpowers because of radioactive lunchroom food, the elementary is so bad that it's pretty much radioactive. Which, I mean, if you've eaten school food, that's kind of funny. Public system food that they just serve you. It's kind of funny. But like he gets his superpowers, he can fly, and then he literally what I find funny about it is he gets the powers that they wrote in the comic book. Like he just gets them. Not just being able to fly and stuff. No, he gets the powers from the comic books, which one of them is limitless underpants. Limitless underpants that he's just slingshotting at Professor Poopy Pants. He's just slingshotting them with his thumb. It's hilarious. And they're doing that, and then they defeat him by shrinking him, but he escapes. And they tried to turn Captain Underpants back to normal. But nope, it didn't work because the radioactive sludge from the giant toilet got into smaller toilets, bringing them to life, creating an army of evil toilets, setting up, of course, for the book actually happened. It turns out Captain Underpants is back, and then they played the Weird Al Yankovic theme song for Captain Underpants, and that's the end of the movie. So I mean, my thing about the movie is, it's not. It's if you were hoping for a stupid superhero movie, this isn't exactly what you should. That's not what you get. You really get like a best friend movie. It really is about best friends and friendship. It really is, and it's a nice movie. It's a nice, sit down, like, just don't have high expectations, and you'll actually enjoy this movie. It's like you can't go into this thinking it's going to be amazing. You can't, but you can go in thinking, oh, you know what? I want to watch a movie, and I want to, I just want to stop thinking for a minute. It's definitely not a bad movie though. It is not a bad movie. It's good. And I don't know what they're expecting from this. That's the thing, though, because the title isn't Captain Underpants. It's Captain Underpants' first epic movie.
So they're possibly planning on doing sequels if we're enough interest.
They might, yeah, they might be planning some sequels, or maybe. And I know Owen might not be a fan of this. Don't think he's enjoying the Captain Underpants idea. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nickelodeon decided to pick up maybe a Captain Underpants TV show.
No, that'd be fine. It'd be replacing SpongeBob.
I mean, it would. I think
doubt it.
Nickelodeon. I know SpongeBob can't die.
SpongeBob won't die. As long as
I know,
it can't die, they won't let it die.
Unless I made a time machine and kill the creator.
It's just it. We've tried. Like they've tried just like stopping. They've tried stopping.
That's why I said I'd make a time.
But like every. But okay, technically speaking, SpongeBob is dead. Technically speaking, like they don't really make episodes anymore. They do like a ton of reruns of the older episodes, and then like if something special is happening, you know, like a special event is happening, they might make a new episode or two for like a week. They'll make 5 new episodes and then just stop.
That's what I say.
You know, like if Halloween's coming around, they'll like make 5 episodes just like to make you happy. Just because making SpongeBob episodes is easy. It's easy to write.
Even a monkey can write an episode for them.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's just it. Like SpongeBob, it's like it's got a simple formula, and like they've boiled down to a science that they can just like spit out 5 episodes for a week and then just be like, you know what, that's okay, then you're good. That's it. We're done. We're done for like 5 months, and then maybe we'll give you more SpongeBob. But like SpongeBob is pretty much dead. Like every once in a while you'll get a special, you know, because SpongeBob is still popular. So like you'll get like a stop motion special, which they're planning a new Halloween special with the Flying Dutchman.
Oh god.
Which I mean, I'm gonna watch only because I want to see SpongeBob get the crap scared out of him.
It still shocks me how much of fucking memes the old SpongeBob episodes are.
Oh yeah,
Because when you look at them, they were designed to be memes before memes were a thing.
If you watch the older SpongeBob and then you if you only watch one episode of SpongeBob a season, and then you just progressively go down, you start to realize they started boiling down that formula. SpongeBob does thing. SpongeBob starts to do thing. Thing starts to go wrong. But somehow works out. Happy ending.
And people's brains turn into mush.
And then somewhere along there, you have to have a SpongeBob laughing moment.
No, I can't do it.
As long as you have those elements, you know, SpongeBob does a thing, and something goes wrong with that thing, and but works out in the end, even though things went terribly wrong. Then you can just throw in a random character. Let's just say SpongeBob's gonna be doing this thing with Sandy. That's who he's gonna do it with. Something goes terribly wrong, but conveniently works out because of the thing that went wrong. We're gonna throw in freaking Plankton, which I'm not gonna lie, Plankton episodes are pretty funny. I like Plankton episodes because then you know somehow someone's going to get hurt. someone's going to get hurt. Which eventually it loses its flavor because like Plankton's the only one that anyone's allowed to hurt. And it's like I think that's what ruins SpongeBob. Sometimes like people get hurt, but they don't feel any pain. I mean, okay, Patrick feels pain, which it's hilarious to watch him get the crap beat out of him. But eventually, you just have to stop. You have to stop beating up the pink guy. But yeah, no, Captain Underpants, good movie. Smurfs Lost Village, good movie. And go watch the DuckTales show. We need all the support to make sure that this thing continues. I don't know anyone who's not going to watch it, but I'm just saying. But yeah, no, in September, we're going to get more episodes, and I can't wait.
Yeah, even Gareth can't wait to watch DuckTales.
It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we actually going to be
like,
watching I was just going to say, we're going to be watching the first episode together tomorrow.
I am so sorry that I spoiled it for you.
It's okay.
There are still some moments that I didn't really talk about in the show. So there will be some. You can still enjoy some things. There's just little details that I didn't really talk about. But definitely you're going to love it, Owen. You're going to love it. Oh, I can't wait for more episodes. I just can't wait.
I just got that new show from the same guys who created the regular show.
Really, the regular show guys made a new show?
Yep, it's more adult themed.
What is it? What is it called?
I forgot the name of it. It was shown on GameSpot's channel thing on Facebook the other day. I think it's gonna still be on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim.
Okay. Is it on the OK? Is it the OKO Let's Be Heroes show? Because I know that premiered.
No, it's not that. Basically, they're like two adults with a kid, I think, in the same art style as the regular show, but not as animals, but as humans, basically. And they're like, basically they're like taking drugs and stuff like that. And there's like a few sex scenes in some episodes.
Definitely going to be Adult Swim show that I will definitely take a look at if it's the guys from regular show, because I know the guys from regular show. First off, they got away with a lot of stuff in the first couple of seasons of regular show.
There's one part of the trailer, and the kid sees her parents or relatives like that. What they're doing there? We're wrestling, honey. Don't worry. And the other guys are like covering our eyes. They're like the back of the car.
Okay, that is good. Yeah, like seriously, like first off, regular show. The reason I got so into regular show, which I loved the show. Oh, I loved it. The reason I got so into it was because of the episode Hello Govna. It is not funny. It is not a funny episode. It's not. Yeah. It's about Rigby. He rents a movie and he's totally scared by it. And the movie is about a British cab that is possessed and murders people. Mm-hmm. And now the cab is like in real life and it's hunting down Rigby. And it turns out that it's the movie store guy trying to cut the movie because it's overdue.
Yeah.
It is not.
I was just gonna say. They still got some of the original cast who did the regular show doing some of the new characters' voices as well.
But like that episode, Hello Govna, it is not the funniest episode.
It's like the me.
It is. It's barely even like one of like their best. It's not even like one of their best ones. The reason it is the episode that got me into it is because it is a kids show where Mordecai literally, when he realizes that the cab is real, yells, "Oh crap! Oh crap! It's real!" And then they drive away. That moment, it was a mind blown moment. As like, it was just like, whoa. They said, "Did he just say crap? Did he just say crap? This is Cartoon Network." Note that they have never shown that episode. They have never shown that episode on television again. Got away with it. and then like that moment, it was just like, well, this is my favorite show. If they can get away with that, this show is gonna be good.
I've actually sent you the trailer for the new show, for the regular show.
Please,
now on Facebook.
Please do, because regular show eventually they did, put some rules on them. They did, eventually start catching on to some of the crap that they were doing. And it didn't keep them from making good episodes. They still got away with some stuff. And then there was like all the references that they would make to like some famous movies that like they made a Chinatown reference. Trouble in Chinatown? They made a reference to that. Like a random reference that is like it has no purpose being there. But it was there. And it was kind of funny. But yeah, no. But like I love regular show. So if there's a new show where the team is working on it, where they don't have to follow as many rules, it's going to be great. But anyway, yes, DuckTales, amazing. I can't wait for more episodes. It's going to be great. I'm gonna hope for some Darkwing Duck crossover sometime in the future. Because clearly the team that is working on this show are huge fans of Darkwing Duck. And clearly they're just dying to use more Launchpad. They're just dying to use more. They're dying to use some more Launchpad fun. So I'm hoping that they're gonna give them something to do with like a Darkwing episode. So who knows what'll happen? Or maybe like Huey, Dewey, and Louie try and be vigilantes and team up with Darkwing Duck. Like I would be okay with that too.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be kind of funny. Huey, Dewey, and Louie trying to be like Robin. Like each one trying to be Robin to Darkwing. And then Goslin is just like, what the shit's going on?
That's a question I need to ask you there, Graham. What do you think of the new form of Soul Rock that came out for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which has been announced this week?
What do you mean?
There's a new form of rock.
Lycan Rock.
Lycan Rock.
A new form for Lycan Rock, the rock dog thing. That would change. Its form's different depending on what version you got.
Oh, Rockruff. I like it. I like the new Rockruff. I like that there's a new sunset mode.
Yeah. Some people don't like the design of the fur and that. It's like, I
don't like it. It looks like the midday form of orange, and then just give it like a bit of hair on its neck to look more like the midnight form.
My thing is, I know why they picked orange. I get it. It's a sunset.
Yeah, but I fucking like the color orange.
Yeah, like I get it. Like it's not even, and it's not like, guys, come on. Is it like, what did you want? Did you want like a yin yang of like red and silver? Is that what you wanted? Because that would have been stupid.
Yeah, and there's been a load of fake leaks out already for it. It's like there was like a load version of Pylo Swine And
I saw that. I saw that.
And there's like a fake evolution from Mimikyu.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be against new Alola forms for the Ultra. I don't want too many though, because I feel like the one problem that I had with Sun and Moon was like it was a little flooded with the new ones. Like there wasn't enough new Pokemon.
Like they were essentially
it was
all
made
gone
like,
with a slightly different hinge, basically.
it was either the Alolas. It was either Alolas, which don't get me wrong, the Alolas, I love them. I love their designs. They look great. But if it wasn't an Alola, it was one of the old Pokemon. You know? Thing is, you know what? Fine. Alolas are cool. They look great, but maybe you could pile on some new evolutions. Give us some evolutions to some of the Pokemon that kind of deserve them. You know, like
Finally, a fall shuckle.
Yeah, that's still a
Um,
freaking meme these days. Those Dunsparce.
I wouldn't mind an evolution for those birds that could change their type. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the ones you give them a different flower, they change their typing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an evolution kind of process for them. And of course, if you're gonna give us Pokemon Ultra, I'm just saying maybe a new Eevee would do pretty good. This would, like, if you're gonna do it.
Primarina needs a Mega Evolution that turns her into Marina and Diamonds. It must happen.
Or maybe, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind an Alola Eevee.
No! An Aloha Eevee? What the hell?
I wouldn't be against it. I'm just wanting, like, this new game does not have an Eevee variation yet. And since we're getting the Ultra, maybe this is their minute. This is their time to give us a new Eevee.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that's gonna happen.
Poison type. Poison type. It's poison type.
That's only for you, Owen. That's only you.
We just need more fairy water type combos. Primarina's not enough. I want more.
You got Marill and Azumarill.
Fuck them. Are they Marina and Diamonds? Didn't think so.
Damn.
See, Owen, I'm all for your poison type Eevee. That sounds great. It's an amazing idea, and I would love it.
Because it'd be a good it'd be a good counter for fairies. That's what I'm saying that for.
But I'm
Don't touch
kind
me, darling Sylveon. Or Sylvia.
of steal. I kind of want to steal. I want to steal Eevee.
Could happen.
But I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to give us a dragon Eevee.
That'd be dead.
No doubt that it would die, but
Instantly by a fairy type. You can see Sylveon just strangling it.
I want that as fan art. If they actually do that, I want to see fan art of just the dragon evolution of an Eevee just sitting there being choked by little tassels that Sylveon has. So Sylveon just looks at smiling with its empty, cold eyes.
No, it'd be saying, I'm the best type of the evolution, bitch.
I am on top of the evolutionary chain. On other forms are irrelevant.
You see
there's
that
a fan comment out there. It's just like, I am the dragon evolution, Drakeon. And then it's just like the fairy type is just like strangling it. What are you now? What did you say you were?
You little bitch!
You see Umbreon hiding in one of the corners and Espeon just not looking the other way, or just looking the other way.
It's like all the other EVs are just are just not looking at it, getting murdered.
No, because like Umbreon will be hiding because dark types are weird against fairies as well, so they'd be running away as well.
It's like
Umbreon was my favorite evolution, and then Sylveon came out, and I wasn't too fond of it. But then I evolved an Eevee into Sylveon, and shit got real. Like
See,
literally,
I
it was literally just like, lol, what, you OP? Don't think so.
See, I personally love Jolteon. Jolteon is usually my pick of evolution.
Team Umbreon for the win.
I used to be Vaporeon, then they had Umbreon, and now it's Team Umbreon, and now I'm Team Sylveon.
I'm
I
a
mean,
Team
don't get me
Espeon. I do like myself.
If I had a choice, I would probably, if I had to get one of the newer ones, I would go with Glaceon because I love that design.
I thought I would like Glaceon, but the issue is I don't like ice types. Like I love some, I like the design of some ice types, but I fucking hate
Don't get me
using
wrong.
them.
My type coverage, like my type favorites, are usually electric, grass, and poison, or just insect. No, bug types are like I love my bugs. I love my bug types. I love my good old Beedrill.
I wonder why.
Beedrill is my buddy.
Smash
I love Beedrill.
Smash the bees. Crush the bees.
I love Beedrill. I mainly love Weedle. Weedle is just adorable.
Technically, Beedrill's not really a bee. It's basically like the design of a hornet.
Yeah, he is definitely a yellow jacket that just like kept going to the gym and just forgot to stop.
Even its mega form, you're like, run?
I keep forgetting it has a Mega.
It has a mega. It has a mega. And it's just like when it hits it, it's just like, well, I'm allergic. I
Run,
suddenly
bitch!
became
Run!
It's like,
It's just like
hashtag
It's-
mega butterfree. Next.
as soon as Beedrill hits mega, you're just like, I suddenly became allergic to bees. Suddenly. I suddenly became allergic. Anyway, this podcast has been going on for a while. Retro Knight eventually joined us. Unfortunately, we're coming towards the ends. We've kind of gone through all our information. We talked about the new DuckTales, which again, go see the new DuckTales. But I guess if I want to get a retro. Have you heard of Phineas and Ferb?
Who hasn't?
Do you enjoy Phineas and Ferb?
Hell yeah, dude. I even love their songs.
Have you watched Milo Murphy?
That does sound familiar.
Murphy's Law.
Wait. Grand Blue, this isn't what I think it is it?
Milo Murphy's Law is the new series that the creators of Phineas and Ferb created, and it's actually a pretty good show. I've seen every episode. It is a great show. Milo Murphy is voiced by Weird Al Yankovic. He does the theme song, and he sings a good portion of the songs in the show, which is pretty good. They're pretty catchy. The show has a lot of funny moments. So basically, Milo Murphy is cursed by Murphy's Law. His entire family is Murphy lawed, where anything that can happen will happen. And Milo's thing is that he's prepared for every situation, but everyone around him is just like freaking the hell out. Which is kind of it's funny that there's one guy who's just like, guys, come on, this happened like last week. While everyone else is just losing their mind. You know? But yeah, Milo Murphy is created by the same people who made the Phineas and Ferb, the same animation, same great, and it is official. They've made references to Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb actually is part of the backstory of one of the characters.
Holy shit!
Like, there's literally an episode. One of the characters whose name slips my mind, but is terrified of roller coasters. The reason she's scared of roller coasters is that she was making a science fair project, and Phineas and Ferb's roller coaster fell on top of it.
Damn!
And apparently almost crushed her or something. So like now she's like terrified of roller coasters. So it's like part of like they've made like direct references that Phineas and Ferb exist in their universe. And I'm assuming that the science fair that she was entering during the summer was also going to be the science fair that Baljeet enters in a later episode.
Oh, that would be too good. That'd be
I'm assuming that because I don't know many people who have science fairs during the summer.
Science nerds.
You know, apparently. But universes are connected. They have the same timelines. And they've announced that there is going to be a crossover.
Oh yeah!
They've been building up to this crossover by making tons of references to Phineas and Ferb in the show to let you know that, like, guys, okay, look, Milo and Phineas are like, not only are they in the same timeline, not only are they in the same universe, but Milo does not live too far from Danville. They do not live too far apart, you know? And so, like, a crossover is imminent. And they've been setting up for a crossover, and a crossover is going to happen. What people are really excited about is the fact that Phineas and Ferb are not going to be in a summer setting.
Go on.
Because the timelines, if they're met up correctly, Milo is in school. Summer is over. Phineas and Ferb are in school. So maybe we'll get to see some kind of idea of what their school life is like. You know? Which will be interesting because, you know, Buford is like the school bully.
Oh, you
Which
definitely
might
gotta
be
have that.
interesting to see. Like, this is, like, there's things that people have wondered, you know, just like is Phineas and Ferb cool? Are they cool? Are they the cool kids, or are they the nerds?
I think most likely they will be a part of the cool kids because they also did all these inventions that actually attracted a lot of people.
But like, would they like? Does Buford and Baljeet actually do they hang out in school? But like, there's just like a lot of stuff that, like, people are just like, man, Phineas. I'm like, and then people have wondered, well, then how are Phineas and Ferb and Milo Murphy gonna, like, how are they gonna mix? And how hilarious would it be if just like Milo and just like messed up, like every time Phineas and Ferb try and build this most amazing thing ever, it just keeps crumbling down because Milo's there. And you know, and of course we do have an animal character with Milo. Milo does have Diogi, who is a dog who has an interesting design, by the way. It's a very interesting dog design. It's very weird looking. He looks like he's from like a funny strip from a comic in a newspaper. Really good design. So I'm expecting then maybe he'll become a temporary agent of the OWCA, AUCA, organization without a cool acronym. Which, by the way, last time we checked, Doofenshmirtz was an agent. So maybe that'll have something. Like, I know that, like, their big thing is continuity. You know, Their thing is continuity. If one thing happens, it's gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
So if they
Go ahead.
So if they made a point that Doofenshmirtz is no longer a bad guy and is actually an Auka agent, or wait, wait. During the fall semester, he is a science teacher. He's a science teacher, teaching Doof 101.
I just got one question. Will there be any catchy sing-alongs?
I am assuming that Weird Al and Phineas and Ferb, there's no way that they're not going to sing a song. There's no way that they can't.
They have to.
I would kind of hope that they like kind of combine their theme songs.
Oh.
Like they'll find a way to combine the theme songs.
Oh, I hope it happens.
Because like Milo's thing is all about being prepared for everything, and then Phineas and Ferb is all about doing everything that they can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like a crossover between these two worlds are going to be epic. It's going to be great. Because Disney's really in a crossover mood lately. Disney lately just loves combining universes.
Oh,
And Phineas and Ferb, it's just like a blank slate that they've used to combine crap.
wait, I got another question. Will Meat be there?
Who?
Meat.
No.
Come on, not even like a cameo or something like that?
I think that they'll mention him, maybe. I don't think they're gonna put too much. I'm trying to like. The thing is, you have to wonder who's gonna get the most focus. Is this gonna be focusing on the Phineas and Ferb universe, or focusing on the Milo Murphy universe? Like, who's gonna cross over to who? That's what you gotta wonder. Is Phineas and Ferb gonna be like on a class field trip or something, and like they go to wherever Milo is, or is Milo gonna go to whatever crazy thing Phineas and Ferb have invented? Or is like, I don't think they're the same age. I don't think Milo and Phineas and Ferb, I don't think they're the same age. I'm pretty sure Milo is definitely older. So it's very possible that it's very possible that the way that they get connected is through Candace. Or maybe Jeremy. Who would interact with each other.
I was hoping that Stacy might. I was hoping like Stacy might be there as well.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make the prediction. I think Candace discovers Milo. And once she realizes that Milo makes everything go wrong just by existing, she plants Milo wherever Phineas and Ferb are so that she can bust the boys. Because, like, with the age difference, it would make sense that they would interact with each other. That Candace and Milo would interact with each other because they're close enough in age. And if Candace discovers that there's a mystical force around Milo making things happen, she would try and utilize it to try and bust the boys when they try and do something crazy on a Saturday. They're trying to build a freaking the world's largest water slide on a Saturday. You know, but Milo's gonna try and stop him. Just by being there. That's my prediction. I'm thinking that Candace is going to try and use Milo Murphy's Law to stop the boys and bust them.
But will it succeed? I think not.
No. No. And I think that might work in the show's favor. That means that we don't need the Doofenshmirtz. We don't need Doofenshmirtz's Inator to like undo Phineas and Ferb's things. We can just use Milo to undo it.
That'll just be the plot twist. Like she tries to do it, and for whatever reason, told literally it needs to be cleaned away.
Yeah, just like it goes away, and just like and just like, well, Murphy's Law. Anything can happen. Just like I told you, anything can happen. Even if that means aliens take it away. You'd be surprised how many times that happens to me on a daily basis. Or something like that. Just like that's like because Doofenshmirtz isn't a bad guy anymore, so we don't have like a deflatinator to like undo a giant bounce house that the boys would build. We don't have an Inator anymore to undo it. So we need Milo. We need Milo to undo some crazy invention. And I'm picturing it's going to be an hour-long special, but it is officially announced. It is said that they've been building up to it. It's going to happen for like the second season, sometime during the second season. Which they're right now working on. So, but that's about it. That's all we got. Outros, starting with Yami.
Thanks again for letting me join again, Grand Blue. Can't wait to do this again next week, hopefully. And hopefully see you guys on Tuesday when I do the Sonic Mania gameplay.
Yes.
Yes, recluses on the internet, don't let the cruel, everlasting grip of entropy grab you within the next week because, I need the exposure. I'm a pure, unadulterated attention whore. I didn't stir much shit this week, but trust me, if someone comes up next week, I will stir the shit.
Yes, this shit is
And of course, he was late, but he made it all the same. Retro Night.
It's your boy Retro Night here, your Oreo gamer right here. Sorry I came in late to the party, but this has been an interesting conversation.
Yes, it has. And of course, I am the Grand Blue, the grandest of the blues. This is me signing off, hoping for a Darkwing Duck crossover with DuckTales, and eager to see the crossover of Milo and Phineas and Ferb. Until next time, I'm Braxton Gamer, the channel for the gamer, and we're going to see you time on Twitter and Jim Drive.